We are getting nearer and nearer to the big event, the final tally of the polls. And last week was the biggest phase of polling. Over 60% of the polling was seen in several parts of Uttar Pradesh, 70% turnout in Darjeeling, as I just told you. And small towns like Udhampur beat even India's IT capital, Bangalore, which actually saw a pretty mediocre turnout of just 54%. Bhupendra Chaubey, the National Affairs editor at CNN-IBN, joins in to give us his key takeaways on the polling turnout so far and what it might mean for the final tally. Bhupen, good morning. Thanks much. Well, that really is the first question. Give us an idea of all the five polling phases that have happened so far and your key takeaways from the numbers that you have got so far.
Well, just in terms of the polling percentages that you were talking about, just a precautionary note of sorts here. If you were to look at the previous assembly elections that have taken place over the last, say, 4 to 5 years, and even the last Lok Sabha election, the polling percentage has consistently risen. Now, one of the reasons for that is, of course, revision of electoral rolls. The number of fake voters that used to be cast, that has come down. But that's not to take away from the fact that a large number of people now, largely due to the measures which have been taken by the Election Commission and frankly the kind of focus which has been there on the elections even in the media. I mean, you look around, you know, in Mumbai for instance, just look at the kind of advertising which is taking place. Most of the ad guys today have gone and tried to borrow some leaf from this election juggernaut which is rolling. So you could be selling bread today, you could be selling, you know, some transistor or some electronics equipment, everything, the background appears to be elections. Now that's about the polling percentage part. As far as the key political takeaway is concerned, I think just on the basis of the phases which have gone to polls so far, certainly in the Hindi heartland, where we've seen in Bihar, in UP, in Madhya Pradesh, in Delhi, the polling which has taken place in Chhattisgarh, it does look like the large numbers of voters who have come out have by and large expressed their preferences for the BJP. Now, this doesn't mean that the BJP is set for a landslide majority on its own, but I think that just in terms of where the BJP was in 2009, I think from that point onwards where the BJP got 18% roughly the popular vote, I think BJP's vote share is set to be increasing. Whether it's in Delhi or it's in parts of Uttar Pradesh where elections have taken place or even in parts of Bihar, because frankly in Madhya Pradesh the story has been one-sided for the BJP over the last few years. At the Lok Sabha level, the Congress has managed to do some damage control, but I think this time around, if you ask me, frankly, I can't see a third seat for the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh beyond a Jyotiraditya Scindia in Gwalior and a Kamal Nath in Chhindwara. In Rajasthan, where the Congress last time in 2009 did very well, got 19 seats and the BJP was reduced to a mere 6 seats. The story is the same in Rajasthan as well, where I think that those numbers could well ultimately end up turning, where you could see the BJP taking its tally up from 6, maybe up to 17 to 19, and the Congress could very well be left behind, where maybe the Congress's tally could end up being somewhere similar to what the BJP tally was last time around. So bottom line is this, so far on the basis of what we have seen, the BJP quite clearly set to be the single largest party. But that's the first step. The second step comes now, because now over the next 2 weeks you are going to see polling taking place in 311 seats. Now across these 311 seats, many areas are areas where the BJP is not strong. In Maharashtra, for instance, where polls are going to take place. In Tamil Nadu, for instance, where polling is going to take place. In Punjab, for instance, where there is an Akali Dal, and I can tell you that, you know, I've just come back from Amritsar this morning, and the story is very different in Punjab from what it appears to be, frankly, sitting in television studios and sometimes just looking at those bar graphs, etc.
Okay, so it does look like it will be a tough phase 6 and 7 for the BJP, you think. Well, just give us an idea of, you know, there are a few things left. One, that, you know, the next few phases is not a straight contest between BJP and Congress. And two, there are, you know, issues like TDP which seem to be on the surface resolved. At this point in time, if you have to take a bet on what might be the NDA tally and the BJP tally, what would you go with?
Okay, I remember you put this question to me last time when I was on your show, but I think that today I'm in a better position to give you some kind of an accurate idea in terms of how many seats the BJP itself is going to get. Now, I would not go by the kind of figures which have been put by CSDS or other opinion polls. Just on the basis of my travels across the country through key battleground states, I think the BJP at this point of time, Lata, will struggle to cross that 1998-99 figure of round about 182 seats.
Okay.
I do not buy this theory of the BJP getting up to 250 seats on its own or 230, 240. The 311 seats which are
Why
now
the skepticism, Bhupen?
I'll tell you why, Lata, and that's what I was suggesting to you, that sometimes the story looks very different when you're in television studios in comparison to when you go out on the field. Let me elaborate if you were to give me a few seconds.
Yes.
I was in Amritsar. Now Amritsar is a constituency where Arun Jaitley himself is contesting. Captain Amrinder Singh of the Congress is taking him on. You speak to any person in Delhi or Mumbai, they'll say, oh, it'll be a cakewalk for Mr. Jaitley. But let me tell you, it's not a cakewalk for Mr. Jaitley. Let me say this, that if there is one constituency where you could end up seeing a huge setback of sorts for the BJP, it could very well be Amritsar. Because the issues in Amritsar are very different from the kind of issues that we sometimes hear in national media domain.
Okay.
Robert Vadra, corruption allegations, and what has gone on with Sonia Gandhi's illness, all these things don't matter.
Yeah.
What matters there is the kind of drug abuse which is taking place. Huge, large-scale, massive resentment against the Akali Dal there.
Okay.
Bikram Majithia, who happens to be the brother of Harsimrat Kaur, wife of Sukhbir Badal, Harsimrat herself is a member of Parliament from Punjab. Massive resentment.
Okay,
Mr.
Bhupen,
Jaitley has to fight resentment on all these fronts.
Okay, Bhupen, unfortunately out of time, but you gave us the BJP tally of just about 180, 182, and therefore what is the extrapolation for the NDA? Because then the attraction becomes a little less.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying that the BJP, according to me, is not going to be maximum to maximum. If the BJP was to do really well in these parts of Uttar Pradesh where the polling is going to take place, including those 32 crucial seats in Purvanchal, and I have been repeatedly emphasizing on the 32 seats of Purvanchal on all Network 18 channels, because I think that this election is going to be made or broken in those 32 seats. If the BJP doesn't manage to improve its tally significantly from those 4 seats that it holds right now, I think that figure that I gave you, 182 to 185, will ultimately end up being true, Lata. NDA tally, according to me, at the moment, maybe around about 210, 212, not more than that. I mean, you're talking about a Shiv Sena, you're talking about an Akali Dal, you're talking about an LJP, and you're talking about the alliance which has been built by the BJP in Tamil Nadu. The story is very different. It's not as one-sided as it's looking like. The BJP has a lead. BJP has an advantage. BJP was down to 114, 116 seats in 2009. So from that point, to come up to 182, 190, of course, is an achievement. But remember, in 2009, the Congress got 206 seats. Did anyone say that this was a Manmohan Singh wave? Was the word wave used at all? Nobody used that word wave.
Take it,
so what
Bhupen.
will be the definition? What will be the definition of a Modi wave then?
Pleasure speaking with you, Bhupen. I'm sure a lot of viewers will be catching on and latching on to what you're saying. This is a much needed caution to a market that has actually been up and away. Well, let's see what our pollsters and our experts have to say after the next few phases of polling are over. We'll wrap up